Hi, I'm Demetrius Sinistroza from Urbanite Collective, and you're listening to Overcoming Fear, Entrepreneurship. Welcome back. I have a special guest here today to share how they overcame their fear to start their own business. And I'm going to allow him to introduce himself.
Thank you so much, Demetrius. Thanks so much for having me on your show. My name is Anthony. I run a digital agency for small businesses and nonprofits where we use data-driven digital solutions to help small businesses grow.
All right.
Sure.
So let's get into this.
Absolutely.
And I know this is our first time meeting face to face and
Absolutely.
talking about our fears when we started our business. And so, what made you start your own business?
Yeah, man. It's honestly a combination of several different reasons, but most profoundly, it would have to be the understanding of where I wanted to be in my life, and kind of an opportunity to be specific in regards to where I want to be in my life. Growing up, I always observed and analyzed the differences between the people who live this seemingly unattainable lifestyle and everyone else, and I realized through exposure, through experiences, that the difference was, for the most part, entrepreneurship, business ownership. So I realized this was the vehicle that was going to take me to my end goal, which was the lifestyle that I wanted to live. And just to talk about the opportunity, and I'm kind of going on a little long here.
You're good.
Just talk about the opportunity. I knew some people that knew I was in school getting my master's degree and knew that I was doing some digital work, some IT work. So they was like, hey, I might have this opportunity for you. And so I took the opportunity, did pretty well, and I was like, okay, maybe I could do this full time. Maybe I don't have to take this internship and go into this 9-to-5 world. So that's what I did.
All right. What was your first obstacle you had to overcome when you started your business?
Man, it's crazy. When you told me this may be one of the questions, something definitely came to my mind, man. I'll tell you, I did my business pro bono for about 3 or 4 months while I was in school before I graduated. And I had to transition to a full-time LLC, doing it full-time, and paid clients and things of that nature. And my first client, my first big client, it was I'm not gonna go into the details of what it was, but long story short, I did some work for them. They owed me 4 figures, but they said they needed to work expedited. So I put myself out there. I thought we had a good relationship. I trusted them. I did the work, and they didn't pay me. And so obviously financially, when you're making that transition, when you declined your job, it's like, okay, I need this money, obviously. So that was definitely a big blow. After 4 months, 3 weeks, not 4 months, but 3 weeks, 4 weeks goes by, you realize, hey, I'm not gonna get this money. That was definitely a financial blow. But even more so, man, like about a month and a half after, the whole debacle, the whole thing kind of played out, and I realized they wasn't giving me my money. I was on social media one day, and I still had like access to some of their back end stuff, and they was actually implementing my strategy on their own. And I was like, wow, like, so not only financially did I take a blow, like psychologically it definitely affected me, because it's like, man, like I'm doing this, like I took this big risk, and this is what's happening to me, like. So it was just kind of a twofold issue. So that was definitely the first obstacle. I'm talking about 1 week, 2 weeks into my business. So
Okay, and then how did you recover from that?
I'm a big believer in perspective, because I feel like your perspective directly influences your actions. So I just tried to every time I felt myself soaking or getting down, I just tried to modify or shift my perspective, and try to flip it on its head. And it was like, okay, I'm glad this happened now. Like, I learned my lesson. Like, now I know, regardless of how good I may believe the relationship is between me and my business partner, you never stick yourself out like that, because everyone isn't as morally responsible as I am. So just to be more, I guess, cautious. So,
All right, no problem. And like everyone has that when the first client didn't pay and then having to recover from that blowback. I remember myself,
Really?
Going through that first obstacle, and like I didn't get paid. I got the exposure,
Okay.
and I'm like, ooh, I need this money now. What do you mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like those can like stifle somebody's
For sure.
momentum and motivation
Absolutely.
to continue, because
Absolutely.
I tend to hold grudges myself.
Yes.
But here's another question. Describe your transition from a stable 9-to-5 job to being your own boss.
My transition from a stable 9-to-5, it was my internship, and I was at a great internship. And the transition was weird. It was nice. Some of the most important kind of shifts and modifications and things I had to kind of switch up was my morning routine. Like, if you have a 9-to-5, you just wake up, you have to be at work at a certain time, so certain things you have to do before you get to work and going into entrepreneurship, going to your business ownership, it's like, okay, like, do I want to wake up at 6? Do I want to wake up at 8? Like, what's that day? And like for me, like I'm a night owl. Like I would rather do my work from 1 to 4 a.m. Absolutely. I do my work from 1 to 4 a.m. and I'm like extremely productive, like in the dark with my hoodie on, like I'm going. But I was like, this isn't probably, so I had to make some changes like that. But that was probably the most serious thing, the most impactful thing I had to do as far as the transition. How about yourself? You seem
Yeah,
like a
I
morning
know.
person.
I was raising my hand in praise for the night owl.
Yeah.
Because the reason I work at like 1 to 4 in the morning is
Yeah.
because distractions.
No distractions, bro.
No
Oh
one's
my God.
like when I was
Yes.
working during the day,
Yeah.
I'm interrupted constantly.
Yeah.
And that messed with me as being an artist. Like people don't understand. I have to reach an R mode. And with the R mode, that's when you're hyper focused on your work and you're getting productive. You're turning.
Yeah.
And then when you're constantly interrupted, you get nothing done.
Absolutely,
And especially
absolutely.
you do coding, correct?
Yes.
Because I don't want to assume.
For sure.
But coding, it's focus
I'm telling
driven.
you, bro. I'm telling you.
And because I know I did coding, and it's like, because like you be like, and it's you editing as you go, and
Yeah.
like trying to be interrupted with the day-to-day
Yes.
interaction. It's like I can't do
I'm
this.
telling you, man.
And then I know with trying to like, do I work up at 6, at 8? I'd be like, I set my alarm at 6, but I mean, I end up with the happy medium at 7
For
o'clock
sure, yeah.
in the morning,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
so. And it's like, some people are early birds.
For sure.
Some people are, like you said, night owls. And
Yeah.
I agree. Trying to find the balance of when to wake up, when you're going to be productive. Knowing me being a night owl, nighttime, that's when I'm the most
Yeah,
productive.
yeah.
But I like to see you try to find that balance.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And so, what techniques do you use to conquer your fears?
Honestly, I just like try to dive right in. That's the logic that I use to start my business. That's the logic that I use to, for instance, make a cold call to somebody that I don't know, like a cold lead or something like that. I just go for it. I feel like if you kind of ponder on it, you think about it too hard, you're gonna get that paralysis, and you're gonna be like, okay, well, these are 100 reasons why I'm not gonna make this call, opposed to that one reason that you should. So I just try to go for it.
You just tackle it head on.
Dive right in, man.
I mean, I'm the complete opposite. It's the startup for me. I'd be like, the startup is always the hardest.
Yeah.
I get all that negative energy, and then I like put myself in a circle rut. But then it's like, okay, now I express my fears. Now I just got to do it.
Yeah.
And then that's when it start. I'm good to go.
Yeah.
And so do you have any current obstacles right now with your business?
Yeah, man, for sure. Like, honestly, like I said, I just graduated. I just started here. I just moved to Tampa. So just gaining clients, gaining quality clients has been a challenge, for sure. Like, I definitely underestimated the time it takes to cultivate, good relationships with potential clients, and for it to actually manifest into money for me on my end, but just a good relationship. So that's definitely been a challenge, getting that traction. For sure.
Of course, the traction's always the hardest. Okay, so if you have any advice overcoming that certain obstacle, what will it be?
Yeah, I guess it would be two. I just talked about perspective, so I would just like to give that advice as well. Like, anytime you're in a situation, like, really try to control your perspective. Like, really try to hone in on what you're thinking. Really try to hone in on what you're thinking, and I feel like that can definitely determine how you navigate out of a obstacle or through an obstacle. Another piece of advice would be never discount what you're good at. I feel like for me personally, when I moved down here, like I said, like gaining traction and things of that nature, I was doing a lot of things that a lot of people told me to do. But me knowing myself, like, I know that I'm kind of charismatic. I love people. I love being in social environments, engaging with people, and I totally discounted that when it came to trying to get clients and things of that nature. So I wasn't at the networking events and the things that I probably should have been at, knowing myself. But as soon as I put myself out there, man, it just started to take off as far as building relationships and things of that nature. So that's another piece of advice I would give. Never discount or discredit your strength. Always kind of try to leverage that to get through an obstacle or get to the next level.
No problem with that. So, okay, so you all about perspective.
Yeah, I love
choosing perspective and tackling things head on. And so, how do you determine when to take a risk or to be cautious?
Oh man, this is like the weirdest. I don't know. This is like the weirdest tactic or the weirdest tool that I use, man. Honestly, it's like this thing called regret analysis. I don't even know if that's the technical term for it, but like,
what caused you the most regret?
Yeah, exactly. So which would I regret the most? Like, would I regret doing this? Would I regret doing that the most? So I try to use that. It's kind of weird, but for big decisions. That's
You
what
know
I use.
what? I could regret it now. So it's like, I think like the same way as well. It's like, am I going to be left behind?
Yeah.
Or like, if I don't do this, if people are going to move on without
Yeah.
me, who else is going to get this opportunity? And it's like, well, I might as well jump on it and bite the bullet. So yeah, that regret analysis seems to be universal.
Yeah, okay, cool. That's good.
Yeah, so
I
you
don't
ain't the
feel
only
bad.
one.
I don't feel as bad, man.
So why did you use that? Has it been successful with you so far?
So far so good. I don't really do retrospectives, as in I don't really go back and assess my decisions as much as I should.
Mhm.
I'm a firm believer in making the best out of, any decision that you make. So any decision that you're in, any situation that you're in, really try to optimize that, opposed to looking back and saying, oh my gosh, like I could have been so much better if I did X, Y, and Z. I feel like everyone has the opportunity to make the best out of every situation, and that's how I look at it after I make the decision.
'Cause I like to do things in retrospect. It's like, okay, I did it. How did it make me feel?
Okay.
Do I want to do this again?
Yeah.
Because usually some of my decisions are like, yeah, I'm not doing that again. But it helps me like, okay, now to recognize. But sometimes a little retrospective do go a long way. But like you said, you sometimes don't look back. And like, when you don't look back, you just keep going.
Yeah.
Or
I definitely do a bit of retrospective. I just don't put a lot of weight on it. I don't
Okay.
let it like affect my mood or affect my next moves and things of that nature. But I definitely agree. It's a lot of value in looking back at your decision and
Yeah.
assessing the rationale.
because with me, I allow it to weigh me now.
Yeah.
So yeah, so sometimes you just gotta look at it as it is what it is, and just now continue to move on.
Yeah.
I like that. I ain't gonna lie, I like it.
Yeah, because if you think about it, I'm sorry to cut you off. But if you think about it, man,
Oh,
like
you're good.
anyone can turn any situation into a positive situation. Like we're not genies here. Like I can say if I stayed in DC, I could have been making this amount of money and doing this, that, and the third. But it's like I'm not there. I'm here. So let me just make the best out of it. So I don't know.
It's good. It's good. What type of fear or obstacle is worse for a new business?
Oh man, having anything around you, for me personally, having anything around you that can like bring you down, or be a threat to your productivity or a threat to your success. So that could be people, or having negative people around you that can bring you down or influence you to go into the wrong direction. Having poor operations internally in your business, that's definitely something. I know that's extremely vague.
I was gonna ask you, can you give an example?
Yeah, it's vague, man. But for me as a new business owner, like I only been in it for a couple months, that's definitely been something that I've been trying to detach myself from, like negative people, not even negative people, but people that may not be on the same plane as far as where you're trying to get in from your life. Like I don't like putting myself around people that have settled when I know they can do better and things of that nature. So just picking and choosing the right people to be around me.
I'm gonna lie about like you saying keeping like certain people around. It brings me back to when Will Smith asked that question, "Who's fanning your flames?" So you ever saw that video?
Instagram, I believe.
Yeah, yes.
I did.
Yeah, where it's like, "Who's fanning your flames?" And he asked, "Who's gassing you up? Who's kindling that fire for you?" And it's always have people around who's encouraging you,
Absolutely.
but also you don't want yes men as well.
Oh, absolutely not. Nope.
Keep you totally grounded, keep you focused, taking away like trim the fat.
Love that.
Do you have the fear of failing?
I don't, man. I don't have the fear of failing. For several reasons. One, I'm confident in myself. I'm confident in every decision that I make. I'm confident. So it's a bit of arrogance, but for that reason, I'm not fearful. Even if I do fail, like I know it's short term. I know it's not going to be detrimental to my ultimate success. So I'm not fearful of it. I still let's try to go full force in every task, in every opportunity, every project, every decision. I feel like failure is a part of life. So regardless, if you're teaching my little niece, 3 years old, how to ride a bike, she's gonna fail, but she may turn into Lance Armstrong. I don't know. So, it's just a part of it, So this is part of the game. Sure.
So do you have a personal fear right now you're trying to conquer?
A personal fear that I'm trying to conquer. I guess it would be sales. We could talk about it from a business perspective.
Yeah.
It would definitely be sales, man, because for me, I'm not a salesy person. I would, rather just have a candid conversation with a potential business partner or potential prospect, and opposed to selling them, I would actually tell them the legit best solution for their project. So would that be working for me, or would that be going out and I guess creating a Weebly website on your own, and I'm gonna be real. So and I know a lot of people tell me, hey, you need to become more salesy. You need to try to convert those people opposed to telling them what they probably the best solution. Really.
Yeah, I understand selling people. It's like either you want it or you don't. That's how I believe.
Mm.
And then if it's since it's the fear of sales, like how do you help minimize that fear?
Oh man, I don't know. That's a great question. How do I mitigate that fear? I'm not quite sure, man. But I'm telling you something I'm doing right now. I'm trying to take some webinars on selling. I'm trying to do that, but I'm also just trying to cultivate, candid and real genuine relationships with people. And I feel like, although that process may be a little longer, it's not as instantaneous as going in and talking someone's ears off and shooting them emails and calling them and all this stuff and trying to get them to make that sale. But I feel like, just trying to cultivate that real relationship will ultimately turn into a sale one day.
Alright.
But it's more or less out of my control. It's more so whenever the potential business partner is ready. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you, man.
Taking time
This
out
is
of your
awesome.
day.
This is awesome.
To join us and talk about our fears and how we overcome them. All right.
Yes. Thank you so much,
Well,
Demetrius.
you have a good day.
You too.